Right, so let's make a cake in Blender. First, we need to add a cylinder. We can scale it down on Z-axis if you want to. Then go into sculpting mode. In here, we want to enable this. I don't know how to pronounce it. Change to 4 pixels. Then we want to select this tool. And all I have to do is create sort of a rim down the edge up here. And then when you have done that, you can go to the smooth tool and smooth this edge out. Something like that. And then we can smooth out the top. And then we do not want these straight lines, so we go back to this tool again. And while we have this in a big circle, we can start to make some random shapes. Turn down the strength if you think the bumps are too big. I also want to add some geometry down here, like this. And then now, when we have more faces, we can now smooth this out. Something like that. That looks good to me, right? We go out of sculpt mode to object mode. And now, while we are in object mode, we can add a plane, scale it up a little bit. We can then press G, Z with the snap tool on. Then in here, we just want to prepare the scene. So select the plane, press E on the edge, move it up. We can also scale this on X-axis and Y-axis to make it a little bit bigger. Then we can move it down and just move this up a little bit. Then, when you have created your plane like this, we want to select the edge in the corner here. Then press Ctrl B, bevel it, then scroll your mouse wheel a few times. Then go out of edit mode, right click in object mode, shade auto smooth. Then we want to add a camera to the scene. We can reset these by holding left click and dragging them over everyone. Then we press 0. And then we can move it on the y-axis. We can move it up on the Z. And we can rotate it on the X. And then back. And if we press numpad 0, we can press, and then we can press numpad 0 to get into this view. Then if we select the camera, we press G, Z, we can move it up. Then we press RX to rotate it in X-axis, and we can press G, Z to align the view. We can also press GZ 2 times to move it up and down, or in and out. I see the plane is visible here, so I will select the plane and press SX to scale it in X-axis. Select the cake, create a new material, select the color you want the cake to be in. I want it to be in an orange color. Then turn down the roughness close to 0. Have it at like 0.2.5. Then we can go into cycles, and just to make it look more nice, we can change the resolution to 1920 by 1920. And then we need to add our lights. And I want to add a area light that has the power of 200. And that is the size of 3 meters. We move that up. And then we can move it back a little, rotate it on RX like this. And then we can press Shift D, press X and then Y a little bit, and then R, Z, and then R, XX, like this. And now we press Shift D again, move it over to other side. Then we press R, Z, and move it, rotate it, like this. I will also add another light that points on the back wall. And that light we can scale up a little bit and also move in its own Z-axis. Now, when we go into render viewport, it will look something like this. It's very empty right now. It's not that much to see. So what we will do is we will add some flowers, and I will be using a free add-on that you can download. It's called add-on I will be using is this, the plant library. It's free to use. It's listed on the Blender market, and it has a pro version which costs a little bit, but the biome reader it's totally free. So from the asset, I will be taking this flower, scale it up a bit, rotate it on y-axis 90 degrees, and then I will place it in front of the cake. Something like that. Then I also want to add some flowers in the back, scale them up, and then I want to add some flowers here. Scale them also up. And this is to help to set the mood for the image and also tell the size of the actual cake. So already it looks so much better, but we will add a background, so or a texture to the background, and to do that we will make a new material for the plane, and in the base color we will drag out and search for checker texture like this. And on this gray we can change it to something red or blue depending on what you like. I think I will go with sort of brown right now. Maybe blue. Okay, I think blue looks very good, so I will go with blue. Already much better looking, in my opinion. Now we just have to add some text to the cake, and that it's very easy. So what we'll do is we will create a text. We will change it from left to center. Then we move it up so we can see it. Then we go into edit mode and we type in what we want the text to be. I will type happy birthday and I will have it listed like this. And then in object mode, I will scale it down so it fits the top like this. And I will scale it down just a little bit more like this. I think this fit perfectly. Now, to make it look more convincing that it's an actual cake, we want to change the font to this Schiller Regular. I think you can search for it too. Schiller, yep, Schiller Regular. Open that font. Already we can see it looks much more realistic in the way it's written. So what I will do is I will make a copy of this text by pressing Control C, then Control V to make this. And then I will make this invisible in both viewport and render. Then when I have this text, I will right click on it and convert to mesh. Then I can go into edit mode, press A, E to extrude it. Then I go out of edit mode and move it down so it lays on the cake. So now you can see it's clipping through the cake, but that's easily fixable with this proportional editing tool. So we select that one. Then we select a vertex. We can toggle X-ray so it's easier to see. We can toggle one vertex down here, and we can press G, Z, and move it up. And you see when we scroll the mouse wheel, it will affect that area. So I will make sure that everything is visible on the top, and we can toggle out of edit mode, and we will see it. It looks okay. I can see that these two are much higher up than here, for example, so I can select this one and move it down. Something like this. We can also add a subdivision surface modifier. So right now we have the subdivision surface modifier, and you get that sort of rounded edge around each letter. Now, if we go to the camera, we can also move the camera a little bit closer by pressing G, Z 2 times, like this, and we can move it up, and we can rotate it a little bit more, like this. We can see this text is a little small, so I will move it up, and it will start clipping, but that's alright. We go into edit mode again, and with this proportional editing tool, we can just move it up like this. So right now, I think something is missing. So I will add just a little rose on the top of the cake, in the middle there. So how do we do that? Well, we press Shift A to add a curve circle. It's important that it's a curve. And then we can move it up. Then we go into edit mode. And when we have all of these vertices selected, we press delete. Now it's still considered to be a circle or a Bezier circle. So in here now we can draw a circle. So we go to top viewport, and then we can select this tool, this draw tool. And now we can draw like this, a circle, something like that. And then go out of edit mode, move it up. We can also change the origin to center of mass. Then when we have this curve selected, we go down here and we go into geometry, object, and then we need to add an object that will be fitted here. Shift A, mesh, circle, have 12 vertices. Select the circle again, move it down away from the cake so we can see it easily. We can scale it down. Then in edit mode, we press F3 and we search for checker. And now it's selected one in between. We can scale this down to make a star. And when we have made a star, we can press A and we can Shift Control B to bevel it. And then we can scroll our mouse wheel just one time to like have this beveled star. Now we go back to this Bezier circle, and then we need to set this to curve first. Now we can select this and here, and now we can see something happened. It got the shape of the star, which is what we want. So we can scale this down, and I think this looks alright, but I will fill in the gaps or the caps, the end things here. And this looks a little bit flat right now, so I will make sure this is selected, and I will go into edit mode, and I will press this thing here, and then I want to select the vertex in the middle. I will also select this one again. You can press O too. Then I will press G, Z, move it up. And then I will scroll my mouse wheel to make the circle bigger, and you will see it follows. So I have something like this. Then I will set origin to center of mass again, and I will move this down, and I will also scale it down like this, and then we can move it up. So now we have some sort of thing here. I don't know what you call these, but they look tasty anyways. Now we can change the color of this one, and I like to have this at the red color, like that one, and we keep the roughness as it is. And now what we can do is we can add a texture to this happy birthday text, and we can change the color to anything we like. Okay, I will have it like this. So now we are pretty much done. I can change the flower size a little bit. And that's about it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like. And if you don't want to miss out on any future updates, don't forget to subscribe. And then I will see you in the next video. Bye.